Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Constantinides and you're watching VCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Constantinides and you're watching VCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. On Monday, 5 Americans who were imprisoned in Iran were freed and are back in the States. A senior Biden official and Qatar official told CNN that the release is part of a wider deal that includes the U.S. unfreezing $6 billion in Iranian funds. The U.S. government has designated all 5 Americans as being wrongfully detained. 3 of those who are believed to be part of the deal had all been imprisoned for more than 5 years. Their release represents a significant breakthrough after years of complicated negotiations between Washington and Tehran. CNN reports the funds came from oil sales that were allowed and placed into accounts set up under the Trump administration. Current White House officials have stressed that the transferred funds will only be used by Iran for humanitarian purchases, and each transaction will be monitored by the U.S. Treasury Department. While wrapping up his trip to Russia, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un was sent off with body armor and drones as parting gifts. The send-off capped a rare 6-day visit where Kim and Russian President Vladimir Putin held talks, raising the possibility of North Korea providing Russia with weaponry to aid in its invasion of Ukraine. On Sunday, as Kim left, he was presented the body armor along with 5 attack drones, a Geranium-25 aircraft-type drone, and a set of special clothing that is invisible to thermal imaging cameras. Following a farewell ceremony that included a red carpet and honor guards, the North Korean president was seen boarding his personal train as Russian officials waved. An independent panel of advisors for the CDC voted 13-1 last Tuesday to recommend updated COVID-19 vaccines for all Americans who are 6 months of age and older. The endorsement from the committee means the vaccines will be covered by public and private insurance plans. The new vaccines have been updated to fend off the currently circulating viruses that cause COVID-19. Clinical studies of the vaccines presented by the manufacturers show that the new vaccines will provide strong protection against the predominant COVID variants. Dr. Mandy Cohen, director of the CDC, must sign off on the recommendations before the shots can be administered. The new vaccines will be available in pharmacies within 48 hours of her sign-off. Last Friday, the United Auto Workers went on strike to pressure Detroit's big 3 automakers into raising wages as the industry begins a costly transition from gas-powered cars to electric vehicles. This is the first time in their union's history that they have ordered a strike at all 3 automakers. By striking simultaneously at General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler, the United Auto Workers Union is trying to claw back some pay and benefits that workers gave up in recent decades. Auto Union President Shawn Fain say workers could strike at more plants if the companies don't come up with better offers. The workers are seeking across-the-board wage increases of 36% over 4 years. The companies have countered by offering increases ranging from 17.5% to 20%. In August, inflation posted its biggest monthly increase as consumers faced higher prices on energy and a variety of other items. The U.S. Department of Labor reported the Consumer Price Index rose 0.6% for the month, which is up 3.7% from a year ago. Energy prices fed much of the gain, rising 5.6% on the month, an increase that included a 10.6% surge in gasoline. Food prices also rose 0.2%, while shelter costs climbed 0.3%. In a series of increases that began in March 2022, the central bank boosted its benchmark borrowing rate by 5.25 percentage points in an effort to tackle inflation that had been running at a more than 40-year high in the summer of 2022. The data comes as Federal Reserve officials are looking to stake out a longer-term approach to solving the inflation problem. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Steps to keep yourself and your family safe from ticks and the illnesses they can cause. Use EPA-approved tick repellents on your skin and clothes. Read and follow the directions. Wear light-colored clothing to make it easier to spot a crawling tick. Check for ticks on yourself, your kids, and your pets anytime you've been outdoors. Some tick bites can make you sick, but finding and removing a tick properly makes it less likely. Call your doctor if you start to feel ill or notice a rash near the bite. Play it safe when you're outdoors.
Welcome back. Braintree High School running back James Curry hasn't had much success in his high school football career. In the third game of the season last year, Curry recovered a fumble, but dislocated his elbow in the process. The injury ended his season. Now, back from his injury, his breaking tackles and tough running is what has helped the Womps jump out to a 2-0 start on the season. Last Friday, he ran for 157 yards on 27 carries and 2 touchdowns in a 30-7 win over North Quincy. When asking about his star running back, Braintree High coach Lee Carlson said, quote, "He's a stud. He had over 100 yards rushing for us last week. He was a two-way player. He was playing in the heat." End quote. Curry was in the camps this past summer getting back into the swing of things. Now he's just happy how things are panning out. Razi Masroor, a Thayer Academy student, is among 24 Massachusetts students to be named a National Merit Scholarship Program semifinalist. There were more than 16,000 semifinalists in the 69th Annual National Merit Scholarship Program. Officials said these high school seniors have an opportunity to continue in the competition for over 7,000 National Merit Scholarships worth nearly $28 million that will be offered next spring. 3 types of National Merit Scholarships will be offered, and about 840 corporate-sponsored Merit Scholarship Awards will be provided by approximately 160 corporations and business organizations. In addition, about 160 colleges and universities are expected to finance college-sponsored Merit Scholarship Awards for finalists who will attend the sponsor institution. Last week, during the monthly planning board meeting, Torrington Properties presented their revised plan for the proposed Chick-fil-A restaurant at the former Motel 6. The revised plans include an updated traffic report and new renderings of the building. Here's more from the representatives for Chick-fil-A.
Shows what will be done with the blighted signature corner, which has existed for over 6 years. It will be made aesthetic, and again, planting trees, 2 small buildings, and shows the 2 lanes stacking, extending the entire width of the site, some 422 feet. So when you come in, you'll take a right, you can flow around either into the bank drive-through, or there's a double stacking lane, probably one of the longest that you see with any kind of fast food use, and then around the building. And of course, all of the order takers, as Clint will describe, are in the drive-through.
So now I'm going to speak about the access configuration for the project, and that has really been the focus of the majority of the time that we've spent in terms of reevaluating the project site. So this slide here shows the prior access configuration. So this was the original configuration that we were looking at probably back in March or April or so for the project site. And what this entailed was requiring that vehicles make a U-turn at the intersection in order to access the project site, because you cannot make a left turn directly into the project site. So as a result of that, we looked at alternatives to allow for a safer access configuration to take place, as well as more efficient traffic flow at the Union Street, Ivor Street intersection. Next slide, please. So that's the plan that we've shown here, and we'll zoom in a minute on this in a little bit more detail. But what happens in this plan here is essentially U-turns are prohibited at the intersection. So what we're doing is having U-turns turn on, so U-turns can't happen. So if you want to reverse direction, you make a left-hand turn from Union Street onto Ivory Street, travel down Ivory Street for a couple hundred feet, and then into the median area, we've constructed a left turn or a U-turn pocket there. So that U-turn pocket allows for vehicles to reverse direction, then travel back up Ivory Street, make a right-hand turn through the existing right-hand turn lane, and then proceed into the project site.
The town's first Mid-Autumn Festival is now set for 3 to 7 p.m. on October 1st at French's Common, adjacent to the Braintree Town Hall. The event was postponed from September 10th due to rain. The Mid-Autumn Festival holiday dates back 3,000 years and is one of the most important holidays on the Chinese calendar. Also known as the Moon Festival or the Moon Cake Festival, it marks the time when the full moon is highest and brightest, coinciding with the autumn harvest. The event will feature a variety of cultural activities and performances, including traditional lion and dragon dances and lantern making workshops. There will be vendors, food, music, and games, and admission is free. The festival is sponsored by the Chinese American Association of Braintree, Mayor Charles Kokoris, and the Braintree Recreation Department. The Mayor's Office has lined up a number of autumn activities for 2023 in partnership with the Braintree Recreation Department. A few coming up include a trivia contest for seniors on September 22nd at the Elder Affairs Building located at 71 Cleveland Avenue. Trivia will begin at 11 a.m. and to sign up, please contact the Department of Elder Affairs at 781-848-1963. Then, new for this school year, the town is announcing a new event, Half Day Fun Days. On Tuesday, September 26th and Wednesday, October 25th, the bus will leave the Braintree Recreation offices at 74 Pond Street at 1 p.m. and return around 5 p.m. September's trip will be to Ryan Family Amusements in Hanover, and October's trip will be a tour of Fenway Park. To sign up, log on to www.braintreerec.com. This month, the town of Braintree wants to remind residents of some recycling options. For residents' convenience, textile donation containers are now located in every schoolyard and the recycling center. So save room in your trash cart by donating at one of those locations today. For appliances, mattresses, box springs, and furniture collection, call Capital Waste a few days prior to your trash day. To schedule, just call 617-569-1718 and leave a message stating what items are going to be collected, along with a complete address, phone, and regular collection day. For construction materials, pallets, stairs, fencing, toilets, doors, and windows must be disposed of by the contractor or a private construction disposal company. Habitat for Humanity takes reusable items at no charge. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
Did you know your teenager's brain is more likely to get addicted to nicotine than yours? The tobacco and vaping industries do. They target teens with their products and try to cover up the fact that there's nicotine in them. Talk with your kids about the real dangers of vaping.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. On Thursday, Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey, House Speaker Ron Mariano, Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch, state legislators, and local officials toured Snug Harbor Elementary School to celebrate the establishment of universal free breakfast and lunch in public K-12 schools across the state. The program included $172 million to provide free breakfast and lunch to every student enrolled in one of Massachusetts' public schools. Healey said during the event, quote, "We did it. Today we celebrate making free school lunch and breakfast permanent in Massachusetts," end quote. Defense attorneys for Karen Reed, the woman charged in connection with the death of her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, a Boston police officer from Braintree, asked a judge last Friday for her bail to be removed. Reed's bail currently sits at $80,000. Her team is asking for bail to be dropped entirely. The motion claims Reed has lost her employment and income since being indicted and now has to pay for her private health insurance at significant expense. Her defense also claims that she has also incurred considerable legal fees and that the prosecution is uncooperative. Reed's team accuses the state of inadequacies in the investigation and claims Reed is being forced to spend unspecified sums of money to hire her own experts. As a result of Friday's proceedings, the case is now scheduled to go to trial on March 12, 2024. Plymouth County District Attorney Timothy Cruz said that Lindsay Clancy, the Duxbury mom accused of killing her 3 children, has been indicted on 3 counts each of murder and strangulation. Clancy is being held without bail at a Tewksbury State Hospital for treatment. Clancy's lawyer, Kevin Reddington, said in May that Clancy suffers from postpartum depression and was over-medicated at the time. Clancy was rendered a paraplegic with spinal transection after jumping from a window at her home. Clancy formerly worked as a nurse at Massachusetts General Hospital. Clancy will be arraigned at Plymouth Superior Court on a date to be determined. Massachusetts Treasurer Deborah Goldberg has suspended Cannabis Control Commission Chairwoman Shannon O'Brien from her position. The move comes just a year after she was chosen for that position. O'Brien is the 3rd person to have held the chair since the commission was created in 2018. The Cannabis Control Commission is overseen by Goldberg, but her office has said nothing about why O'Brien was suspended. O'Brien released a statement saying, quote, "A toxic internal environment has prevented the Commission from meeting its central mission, and I am hopeful needed change can be mandated by the legislator," end quote. The ongoing closures at the MBTA will continue this fall. MBTA officials are planning to close a part of the Red Line for more than 2 weeks during October to expedite critical track work on one of the Boston area rail system's oldest stretches of track. General Manager Philip Eng announced the plans are to close the Red Line's Ashmont branch and the entire Mattapan line for 16 days, starting on October 14th. Eng said allowing crews to work around the clock will help them accomplish 6 months' worth of track work. The project would alleviate 28 speed restrictions that currently limit train speeds on those parts of the track system. Eng said the plan is modeled after a recent 12-day closure of the Green Line's B branch. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
I'm State Representative Bruce Ayers, and I'd like to introduce you to the Helping Hand program. With rising healthcare costs, all too often we hear stories about our seniors, veterans, and neighbors who may not have the proper insurance coverage they need for durable medical equipment. These individuals may be living on a fixed income and may not have the financial resources necessary to cover the costs of the equipment they need. We have a solution. The Helping Hand program provides free, durable medical equipment to residents in need. Items such as wheelchairs, walkers, crutches, canes, commodes, tub seats, and hospital beds are available through the program. We receive donations of lightly used equipment and store them at our facility in North Quincy. If you're in need of any of these items, you can pick them up free of charge and return them after any length of time.
My scooters improve my mobility and independence. Thanks to Helping Hand, I can go to the store, visit the boardwalk, and do so much more.
Helping Hand is a great resource for people who don't have insurance coverage.
The Helping Hand program is successful thanks to the generosity of people who have donated durable medical equipment to our inventory. For more information about the program or to fill out an equipment request form, visit our website or call 617-472-9877. If you know someone in need of these items, we're always available to lend a helping hand.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Today in entertainment, we have 3 movie recommendations for you to watch. First up in entertainment, Love at First Sight focuses on Hadley and Oliver, who fall in love on their flight from New York to London. However, they lose each other at customs, and the possibility of ever meeting each other again seems improbable. But destiny may have a way of changing the odds. The film stars Haley Lou Richardson and Ben Hardy. You can watch Love at First Sight now only on Netflix. Next up in entertainment, Elevator Game follows socially awkward teenager Ryan, who integrates himself into a group of recent high school graduates that run an online web series debunking urban legends. But Ryan has a secret. His sister disappeared months earlier, and he believes they and a dangerous online challenge called the Elevator Game were responsible. You can watch Elevator Game now on Amazon Prime Video. Finally, in entertainment, Theater Camp focuses on a group of eccentric staff members of an upstate New York theater camp who must band together when their beloved founder falls into a coma. The film stars Ben Platt and Molly Gordon. You can watch Theater Camp now on Hulu. That'll do it for news today. I'm Martha Constantinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.